Hello subscriber. Today we are again start with a new technical video. How to use the less electricity, and I have given as some example about how to use the less electricity. With an example like as a fluorescent lamp, lights, bulb, oven, twist oven, and other. Before I ever starting my topic, please keep surprise me and also press the bell icon to get the more updated videos about the technical. So we are starting our topic how to use the less electricity. Lowering an utility bill is a matter for using a less of a power you are being billed for it. It is also most as a good as having a cheap electricity suppliers. Will explain what you can do to reduce the usage. Means first you have used how the electricity has been used by a cheapest way. Means if a cheapest way has been any electric company which has been provided you a cheapest unit rate, you will utilize them. First our example is a compact fluorescent light. Means a light or a bulb is used more in your house. This is a many favorite power saving devices. A bulb that provide a amount of a light of a 100-watt filament bulb that use about 23 watts, since you are being charged for a power for use and that power is measured in a watt. Every CLF means compact fluorescent light you usage cuts from a power usage to about a 150 and 20%, which was within a regular bulb. Saving don't stop the either. CLFS lights use a 5 year compared to the filament bulbs that last about a year. Means the fluorescent light has been a more warrantable and also use a most consume the electricity, and also their warranty has been a 5 year, but a fluorescent or a filament bulb are about a 1 year has been a warranty to start and also consume the less power than the bulb. The bulb are not cheapest, but it's often given away by a utility company trying to the power usage. In effect, you could call your local electricity utilization and ask them for some of those bulbs. Why not? All they can do is say no. If you replace the 5 year of your light bulb within the CLFS, you could cut 500 watts usage charges to just slightly more than 100 watts. That not a bad. Means the utilization of a CLF means compact fluorescent light. You will less than and you utilize it regularly. You will be your money has been backed in a 2 month or in a 3 month. We are focused about the kitchen. Uh, Third best most electricity used in a kitchen. Means we are example about a microwave. Because of a microwave cooks the food and just a food, most of energy used by a microwave goes directly into water being cooked and not into the oven itself. If you cook something off in a microwave, assuming it's in a 1500 watts model, and you only need to the time for a time to the cook and you're used in a 200 watts, compares that the oven used in 2000 watts and requires the oven to uses a 2000 watts requires a 20 minutes of a cook time. The standard oven in that situation would use a 615 watts and difference from a 400 watts. Means if you close oven, you are using the oven. Microwave is a more than your powers, and your power has been consumed a little, and you have got a difference of a 400 watts. Uh, Third one is a twister oven. Twister oven use the less energy that full size in this oven, and they are simple because they are similar and they the less area and the heat saving in the nowhere never and you get within the microwave, but because of you much less space to the heat you will still use this last wattage. And I liked both twister oven and micro to get the food in the responsible temperature in a twister oven for a browing. The twister oven still takes the less time to the cook and full size oven, and alone within the same money on your electric bill and convention of a twister oven in every better because of its force in the hot air around the food. Heat air to the cook and food in the efficient way to the transfer the heat air in the natural insulators. All oven except our micro oven heat air to cook the food. Fourth one is the heating and air conditioning. In a winter, trying to lower your thermostat 5 degree before where a normal habits in the summer, rising the thermostat in the 5 degree. This has been uncomfortable for a few days, but do try it. You may find you get usage of a temperature difference and the saving will be noticeable for a course. I can't give you a finger on that saving without knowing what you are paying now, the size of your home and the type of a heating cooling you are using. Means most wanted usage in a summer or in a winter heating and the air conditioning is also, but in a temperature you are using that a little bit of temperature has been save your electric bill. Television means CRT. If you use the television set in a 25 to the 37-inch range, it uses anywhere from a 75 or a 150 watts of a power per hour. This is for a cathode ray tube CTR type. Are you using a television of a plasma? If you have a plasma television set a flat screen, then power consumed is a considerable high. A plasma screen of a average consume a 300 watts of a power. If you use an LCD, a liquid crystal display, needs to be baked little even through a liquid crystal circuit themselves don't use a lot of power about 200 watts for one of these. You can also calculate how much power each of them television devices use by square inch to calculate the square inch measuring a horizontal and then down multiply both measurement of a square inch. So the example of a 37 inches HD TV is about 560 square inches. It sets in a plasma model of a power consumed 196 watts. If set in within the same square inch in a LCD, then power of consumption is a 160 watts for a never projection TV of a same of 84 watts here are per square inches of each. Rear projection TV also a 0.15 watts per square inch. LCD about 0.30 watts per square inch. Plasma consumes about 0.35 watt per square inch. The solution of that goes simply in the terms of when are not watching it's a most television of them there is a remote control within the same they are and never fully offer remote control television are in a standby mode which also use about 30 watts of power. Sixth one is the best option or that utilize according to their the computer oblong monitor. If you are using a computer and if you reading this certainly and the good known of actually using power on that devices make up a set-top box or a computer box itself the box using a power of monitor using the separately and what's your turns the computer many seeks out them in at least a turns of a monitor when you are not sitting within a computer using it. The monitor typically uses more power than the computer itself. An LCD monitor in a 70 to the 90-inch range using about 200 watts, a CTR type monitor tube type and the same type of range is used at 250 or a 300 watts. This is a not huge difference frequently and the reason is that if your flat monitor didn't need to be backlit it in a would you use in a considerable less power. This is also applied to the printer, fax, scanner, other devices you will be use your computer turns them out and not in using my brothers and I hook them in the things and up to the power strip and when not in using a strip power switches is tuned off it makes a difference. As seven most entertaining things is a game or a computing gears. Of course, video games, other devices use a power too. Here a breakdown: PlayStation's about 200 watts, Xbox is a 360 about 190 watts, and other sliding box 10 watts, personal computers about 8 watts, C is lower than the monitor, wireless router hub as a 10 watts, digital video recorder DVR about a 25 watts. 8 one is a most important thing which is used in a house is a refrigerator or a freezer. There are a number of the things you can do to make your refrigerator using power. There are so many. In effect, I will list them as a built-in power. Keep the refrigerator full. The more items and stored in the better. Empty and never empty fridge. In wasting the power, keeping a few things of a cool. A very well stocked fridge has been a thermal mass that is actually takes less power to cool. Allow any cook in the loft tower and some of the room temperature before the storming in the fridge. If you put a hot food in the fridge for storage, you will just making the fridge using a power to cool that a hot food. Lower thermostat is a necessary to fridge at the coldest setting. If you have a refrigerator at the high coldest setting already lower in the come back in your base and observes the results of a natural and don't want your milk to go sour and your food spoils. But you also not need a very fridge cool near to the freezing if your thermostat in the ideal temperature range of your fridge is between a 35 to 38 degree. Don't leave the door open. This is frankly a bad habit of mine. I am sure the other as well as we stand there within the door open and browsing and choosing a bad idea. It's only takes a second and two for all cold air in the fridge to flushed out. Check the seal around the door They are rubber sealed inside a door surface. Most of these magnetic, which is what the whole door shuts makes, and these nothing in the way the seal of a ceiling in a cricket broken. If you considered getting this replacement of a professional appliances and the repair person. Ninth one is a water heater. The water heater is another potential power waster is with a fridge about there. A number of the ways saves the power within, of course, of a biggest problem within a water heater is that the sits a most of a days unused and simply keeping a 50 gallons of a water hot. Lower the thermostat if the water coming out of a tap is scalding or hot. You will be probable and have a water heater set too high. Lowering that will be have a number of benefits will in the lower of power consuming and preventing examples of scaling. Ram them water in the fiberglass bucket and heats. Keep in the water heater and the less often heated and preventing heats and escaping into the air keeps most of these heats in the water important. Do not put any insulating jackets off a top in the water heater. Of course, this is of a blanket in anywhere never off top. These blankets are roughly $20 at the hardware stores and the blankets whatever the water heater is in the electric or gas. Every simple month of a flash of a water here is empty and the most often missed within the doesn't the circulating water in the bottom of the heater and where the most particulars in the water settles in those particulars which is also a bottom and you will heating the water and the whatever sealed in the heating coils. The flash of water heater gets a small blanket in the short section of a garden house and located the taps button in the heater. See the pictures and garden's house and the taps being banquet and slowly open the tap. There will be considerable pressure behind the water and opening the tap quickly could result in a hot water spray. Runs the water about the minutes and until the water runs clear. The tenth important thing, eco-wear or scrubby. Following steps suggest will not be a saves the money, it will make you an eco-free and shrinking your carbon footprint. Don't believe in the greenhouse gas warming. Not a problem, you will still to save money, don't you? If you believe in the global warming, then just how many things can think that not a save a money but make to good a hero your own environmental. None of these suggestions requires you a wander from a room to room, plunging your family into the darkness just to save a few bucks, but following about the advice will have a noticeable impact on your electric bill and possible your gas bill as well as means the each and everything. I have a clearly that there are some people are using a power factor device in your home but they will not controls your wattage but only this device has been controls only the line losses and complete their voltage but not controls the wattage but what wattage will be controls within a changing in a device according to their manufacturing. If in a starting there is a bulb within a filament using that within 100 watts, but nowadays a new LEDs lights are available in market which will consumes the 7 watt, but the same light has been provided for your families and the childs. So the think about the wattage and what wattage has been consumed during their work standard means less consumption of energy will be given in the using a latest devices which consumes the little wattage or consumes the low energy during their operations. Thanks for watching my video. Please keep subscribe me and also press the bell icon to get the latest update about the technical videos. Thank you.